Big boobs and butt cheeks and piercings and nibbles.
Tattoos and
Dildos and
strap-ons and
trickles.
trickles of what?
Ooh, boo.
Okay. Internet etiquette.
We could talk about internet etiquette because
Things
we
you
could
don't say on Facebook, stupid misuse of social media, hiding versus deleting people, people using hashtags, and fucking boomerang.
What?
Internet humor.
I could talk about boomerang for like 45 fucking minutes.
But
this is okay. It's okay that we don't agree.
That
it's okay that we don't agree.
I understand it's stupid, but I don't understand the degree of hatred.
It's unreasonable. Okay? I'm
Okay,
not saying...
Wait. Let's do an intro. And then... That was the cold open apparently.
My favorite things with boobies and nibbles?
Yeah, that's the cold open right into the theme song. Welcome to the second week of the Unreasonably Angry podcast.
Well, I guess that's one way of saying it.
Well, yeah.
I was like, welcome to episode 5.
It's technically the 5th episode. But
sure.
We've been around for,
We've been around.
We've been around now.
Round,
this is like,
get around, I get around, yeah.
Round, get around, I get around, I get around.
Welcome to episode 5 of the Unreasonably Angry podcast.
How you doing, fuckers?
My name is Eric,
and I'm Gary.
And today we're gonna talk a little bit about launching this podcast and everything that's gone along with that.
Yeah,
one of my super favorite parts about it is creating a Facebook page for it.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Super fun.
Right after we put our name in and launch the page, they're like, "Hey, you're gonna give us money so we can advertise your page so we can get more followers."
Yeah,
boost your post.
Like this page you opened 30 seconds ago, you're not reaching enough people yet.
Can you imagine if just as a person, not as a page, if you logged in and you posted a picture here I am at Starbucks, and they're like, "Hey, do you want more friends to see this? Give us $5."
Right?
It's
the thing is though,
it's like a Black Mirror episode.
But do you think that's never been contemplated? Do you think they've ever thought about that, charging for Facebook? Of course, I'm sure they found ways.
No, it's in the bank. I'm sure.
Yeah,
they're saving it, and we're gonna get there at some point. They're just easing up to that point.
No, but the thing is, we're already there. One of the things that fucking drives me up the fucking wall is how you'll be looking on Amazon and just looking at things, not putting them in your cart, not buying them, and then you'll close the window out, go back to Facebook, and it's items you might be interested in.
Yeah, and it's
holy shit, Big Brother.
Yeah,
what the fuck? Give me a little space.
Well, so they just that bill just got not passed. They were going to pass a bill about ISPs not being able to sell your data.
Okay.
Or look at your history. That's what it was.
Oh, but of course they're going to let them do that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to let them do it.
They're not.
They were. So the Obama administration wanted to not let them do that.
Yeah.
And now the Trump administration is saying, nah, it's fine. Go ahead.
So without getting too far into specific politics of it, but it's basically a bunch of older rich people that are making money off it. They're like, well, fuck it. Let's leave it the way it is.
Yeah. They're basically paid to allow them to do that. So
yeah.
It's annoying. Yeah, you're right. We're already there. Yeah.
But so the Facebook part of it, and the thing is, as we're doing this and as we're putting things up on Facebook and we're reaching out to people through Facebook, it's made me realize that I really don't use Facebook that much on my personal side very often. And so I'm able to ignore most of the things that irritate me on a regular basis. But because we're there and we're building a page and linking to SoundCloud and we're doing all these things, I'm spending more time on Facebook than I normally do, which basically brought me back to the things that just rub my tits raw, dude. Just
Yeah.
fucking people on Facebook.
Well, the problem is that whether or not it's the best tool out there for like marketing and
Yeah.
like reaching out to people, it's the universally accepted one.
Yep.
So it's where everyone is already. So you can't like, it's not like we're going to make, I don't know.
MySpace 2.0.
Yeah. It's not like we're going to make a page somewhere else and be able to reach as many people as we would on Facebook.
Absolutely. And that's part of it is as I'm sure this conversation will last longer than the next 30 seconds, there will be people yelling at the radio. But if it wasn't for Facebook, I wouldn't even know about your fucking podcast. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's the same argument as I wish I had an option aside from Comcast, or I wish I had an option other than Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, or Sprint. The bottom line is Verizon has the best service. At least for me, from my experience,
Yeah.
I've had T-Mobile, I've had AT&T, I've had Sprint. Well, had AT&T, not cell service, so clarify. I had Sprint for years. Verizon is by far the best as far as like data goes.
Yeah.
So I can go save money and go somewhere else and have shittier data. But if I want good data, I have to just bend over and fucking pay whatever Verizon wants me to fucking pay. So Facebook fits in that same category.
yeah.
People make okay with it because they enjoy Facebook, and that's great if you enjoy Facebook. If it tickles your twine and you want to play with yourself, good for you. That's great
Well-
that you love it and you get to look at pictures and do your thing. But there are some of us out there that like it's like a hatred addiction. You know what I mean? Like you have to use it and you hate yourself for it, but you catch yourself doing it.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I don't think people, besides like teenagers or whatever the fuck, I don't think people like are in love with Facebook. No one is like in love with Facebook. Like no one's like, ooh, I'm gonna wake up and check Facebook.
You don't think
It's-
so?
No. What it is it's like it's become just like a thing that you do.
It's your routine.
It's a routine,
And that's exactly
it's
my
part
point.
of your life. It's
It's not-
not like something you're passionate about or that you love. It's just it's like everyone drives a car
Yeah.
because that's how you get to work. Like everyone checks Facebook because that's how you connect with your friends. Apparently,
Well, no, and that's the thing is, and that's my point. I think a lot of times when I go on this, like when I get pissed off about social media, especially Facebook, people go, "Well, then just don't use it." That's the point.
yeah.
I'm fully admitting that I use it because I want to, or because I've developed a habit of using it. I don't post a lot. I've become addicted to my fucking on this day thing because
Oh,
I
yeah.
like to go back and look at the train wreck that my life was before I met my wife.
yeah.
Also, some of the positive memories to see that transition from shitty to happy. But I'm also looking at it and going, holy shit. Like, I do it instinctively. I'll be standing at a goddamn Starbucks waiting for my drink, and my hand slips into my pocket, and I pull my phone out, and I push that blue fucking logo with the big white fucking F on it without even realizing I'm doing it.
The F might as well stand for "fuck you." We own
Fuck,
you.
I will go fuck myself. It's just, yes, I'm bitching about Facebook, and yet, yes, I absolutely every day check my shit. Whether or not I plan on posting, liking anything, it's just
Yeah.
a fucking habit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes me more mad than anything else is that I know I'm doing it and I want to not do it. And yet, for some reason, if I go to take a shit, I'm going to end up on Facebook.
Yep.
Luckily, Reddit's come into my life over the last few years, and that definitely saves me a lot of, ulterior alternative options on the fucking phone. Because Reddit, at least there could be some useful information.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I do check my shit. I check my on this day every day.
Yeah, my on this day thing is awful because it's like shit from like high school and even middle school, and I'm like, well, not middle school, that's MySpace, but but it's like shit from high school that I posted, and I look back on it and I'm like, what the fuck? the best thing about it is that it helps me realize how far I've come from
Yeah.
being a high schooler.
Well, that's the thing is I can't imagine having had social media in high school. Like I didn't get MySpace until I was, I want to say 22 or 23, right in that range.
Well, I don't think it was as much a part of like the social like interaction thing as it is now.
Oh yeah,
I feel
Facebook
like-
is different. It was different than MySpace. Absolutely.
yeah, but now like it seems like it's far worse. Like
Yeah.
it's like with Snapchat and like however whatever kids are doing. I've only been out of high school for 6 years,
like,
and I'm like,
fucking
whatever
kids.
kids are fucking doing
Yeah.
now.
So imagine how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Fucked up part. This is the fucked up part. This will be 16 years since I graduated high school.
wow, yeah.
16 fucking years, dude. A whole person that can drive. That's how long it's been.
A whole high schooler. Yeah.
Exactly. But no, I mean, just this whole thing going back and being on Facebook this last week and really checking. And don't get me wrong, like it does have its benefits, and that's the thing. I think that's what pisses me off is there are such good ways to use social media, and there are great things about it. Like the real reason I have Facebook is so I can keep in touch with my family on the East Coast. It's really what it is. It's so that I can keep in touch with people that I don't see regularly. The thing that irritates me, however, is that it makes it almost like people use it as an excuse not to interact via phone, via in person, via whatever, because they're like, well, I'll just hit you up on Facebook. And it's like, no, that's not the same as actually interacting with me.
It's become a substitute.
Exactly.
Rather than like a complement to our lives. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
People
it's
have,
like,
they forget how to have a conversation face to face.
right.
And
And, yeah, I mean, it's interesting to think about like what Zuckerberg intended. Like he built it like, I mean, there's the movie The Social Network, which like, well,
Yeah, we can get into that.
yeah, we'll get into that like more deeply, but obviously it's a work of fiction. It's not like entirely accurate, but it gives you some perspective as to like what they might have been thinking. And it started just like as college students just wanting to see like that hot girl down the hall online.
Sure.
And like giving them a way to post their own pictures. And it's like, I mean, if you think about it that way, it's no less, it's not like it started with good intentions.
Yeah,
Like,
I get what you're saying.
I mean, obviously, when they got bigger and they became a corporation, they had to like put a friendly face on it, and they did. And for the most part, it's, I mean, they still avoid a lot of the things that like have turned places like 4chan into shit shows.
Yeah.
So it's still like we're still like in like new territory, like with the internet. Like
Yeah.
it hasn't been around that long. It's been like a huge part of our life for, not relatively not that long.
Sure.
So we're still kind of seeing, especially on Facebook, since everyone's on it, like etiquette, like how we're going to deal with
Yeah.
how, like what we should say on there, who we should say it to, like your security settings or whatever, who you're going to follow, who you're going to stop following because you can't stand them anymore or whatever.
Well, it's really the thing that's funny is I've noticed the people that have the hardest time with the security is older people. The people that
yeah.
have had to explain it more to isn't the young people. It's usually the older people that are
Yeah.
like, well, how do I make sure somebody can't see my stuff? Well, make your shit private. Like I don't understand why you would treat an online community any different than you would treat a in-person community.
Right.
If you're an in-person community, would you just let anybody look through your picture book? No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Would
yeah.
would you just let somebody off the street walk up and know your name without having to ask it first? Of course not.
Yeah.
So if you're online, it should be the same thing. And an extension of that is if you wouldn't say it to your face, don't fucking post it on their wall. There's this fucking thing where it's like, oh, I'm 1,000 miles away, so I can say whatever I want. Nothing's gonna happen. Beer, beer, beer. And if they argue back, they can delete it. No, you bitch. Like, if you're gonna say something on someone's wall, act as if you're saying that directly to their face.
Yeah, because essentially you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what I've picked up on is as I was sitting there looking through my Facebook, I realized I don't have a ton of friends because I don't really just add people randomly.
Yeah.
B, I don't follow everybody I'm friends with. And a lot of that is because they go wild on there, man. They're like liking this and liking that and sharing videos here and share. And then the next thing I know, there's just like a bunch of spam on my shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then of course you get chewed out if you don't like somebody's thing. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
there's 100 fucking things popping up. How am I supposed to know everything that you do? Like, what the hell?
That's stupid. When people like, either judge you or criticize you for not participating
Yeah.
in whatever the fuck they're choosing to do
Yeah.
with social media. I mean, there's totally different degrees. Like there's the person who likes everything and posts everything, and
Yeah.
then there's the person who just goes on to message someone when they need to.
Yeah, no,
and
exactly.
it's like, and so you can't say, hey, you didn't like that, you didn't comment on this. Hey, you didn't know I went to the Bahamas? I posted on Facebook. It's like, no, fuck you. Like, I'm not supposed to. If you didn't tell me directly about it, how,
Exactly.
I mean,
How
you
the
shouldn't
fuck should
expect
I know
me,
you went?
Yeah, you shouldn't expect me to know. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be like an expectation, like that I check your wall every week.
Exactly. It's fucking funny that how invested people get. The thing it reminds me of really is, if you remember this back on MySpace, when you'd have your like top friends, you had like 4 friends or 8 friends. And I literally remember back in the day having a girl question me as to why another girl was further up on my top friends. I had no fucking idea that was a thing. And she's like, well, I just noticed this person's. And I'm like, you're mad about that? What the fuck? That was kind of like my first.
Well, that's Tom's fault, whatever his last name is.
Damn it,
for
Tom.
making like the top friends. Whose idea was that? That's asking for high school drama.
Well, MySpace did that though. MySpace really, it kind of ventured. I tried some things, and some of them were great, and some of them were atrocious. And
you remember how you had your own song? When
I actually liked that.
That was
I did.
funny.
It was totally cheesy. It was like, this song represents who I am.
Yeah, and then you go onto someone's page, you're like, oh.
Or you
don't
do
like
it.
them
The thing is, I remember because I'm a big Johnny Cash fan.
Yeah.
And the song "Hurt," I put that up. I was like, "Damn, it's a fucking great song. I love Johnny Cash. It's a great song. It's a Nine Inch Nails cover. It's
Yeah.
a great song." And I remember people going, "Hey, man, I was on your page and I heard that you put 'Hurt' on there, man. Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "What? What the fuck? If I pulled up next to you in my car and was listening to it, would you like freak out?" I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my god.
but yeah, that's the whole point. If you haven't told me you're getting married, and then you put your pictures up from your wedding, why
Yeah.
the fuck do you care what I think anyway? You didn't invite me. You didn't even tell me you were getting married. Why the fuck do you care what I say? Well, you're one of my 300 friends. Do you talk to 300 fucking people? Do you?
You may not be
God
one of my top
damn it.
100 friends that I actually invited to the wedding, but you're one of my top 300.
Which kind of leads me to another thing. It really is the way to do an announcement now is to do that. Back in the day, you'd take out a newspaper article, or you'd send a newsletter. You'd send a letter in the mail. Look at us, we're having a baby. We're having a little boy,
Yeah.
and it was exciting. Nowadays, though, I'll be straight honest. It's fucking pure laziness. Would it be great to send out like actual things? Sure, not a chance in hell I'm gonna fucking do that. So you take the time when we announced that we were having another baby, we put it up on Facebook. Some people that are part of your life on a regular basis, they usually already know or get to find out in a fun way. The
Yeah.
people that aren't really part of your life, they can be like, oh, that's really sweet. I haven't talked to them in 9 years, but they're having a baby.
Yeah.
Sure, fine. It's harmless. I get that now. My get off my lawnness has changed a little bit in that more since I've had a kid, because there are people that don't get to see pictures of my daughter, or things that my wife wants to share. So sure, I'll share it. Grandma loves it, stuff like that. I've noticed it. Like when, like we said, we're not going to get into politics, but when the election happened, I knew people that posted who they voted for on either side, and had people jumping down their throat. And I'm like, if you were standing next to that person, would you say these things? Would you
Yeah.
tell them they're a horrible human being? Would you say,
Yeah.
how could
Yeah,
you do
yeah,
that,
yeah.
you piece of shit? No,
Exactly.
of course you wouldn't.
It's like we were talking about with the driving, where like what you shout in your car, you're not going to say to someone in an elevator. Like,
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. What Facebook does is it puts this
Filter.
filter.
Yeah.
It's not a filter because it doesn't filter.
No, I don't mean
It's
filter
a-
like
yeah.
it's like a camera, movie camera. Like if I'm looking at you through the lens of a camera,
Right.
it's not the same as looking at you face to face. So
Yes.
people they get pulled out of it.
So because you're interacting basically through keyboards, it's both impersonal and more personal.
Exactly.
Because people you'll say things that are like harsher than you could in person because you'd feel bad if you
100%.
said it. But also those people will take things more personally.
Exactly. And we've talked about this because it's text.
Because they chose those words
Yeah.
to type into their computer and
Yep.
leave there for years to come.
Well,
So
and
it's like,
the other part is if,
it's like having if you had the arguments you had with your friends on, like, if you wrote it down and posted it on a bulletin board in
It's
the family
exactly
room.
what it is.
Like,
Somebody just announced a baby not too long ago, and it was kind of the same thing where it was like, we're having a boy or a girl, and then people kind of gave their, well, that's okay. Maybe you guys can have one more. And it's like, hold up. Like, you may just say, oh, hey, maybe you can have one more. What if that person isn't able to? What if that person took that as you're kind of shitting on their having a boy or a girl? First off, would you say that directly to their face? Probably not.
no.
Secondly, when you're doing it that way, you're doing it for all of their friends to see. So even if they're not your friends, that person is now sharing your criticism with all the other people that they were sharing that item with.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If somebody's marrying someone and you disagree with it, you'd go, hey man, I'm really happy for you. I'm glad you found someone. If you want my actual opinion, you still probably wouldn't give it to them. But if they're like, really, give me your opinion. Should I marry this person? You'd be like, yeah, you're not going to go, hold on. Let me turn my PA on. Everybody in the neighborhood, come nearby. Come nearby.
You wouldn't do it
Your
at the
husband is a
engagement party.
dick. Exactly.
Yeah, you wouldn't stand up at the engagement party and say, hey, everyone who's friends with this person on Facebook, I don't think you should marry it.
Yeah, actually, just 2 weeks ago, she was telling me how she wanted to suck somebody else's dick, but that doesn't matter anymore. It's just like and again, it's not the social media's fault. It's like blaming the gun for somebody shooting someone. It's the tool that's there. Mm-hmm. But again, there's no training manual. You don't take a class before you're allowed to use Facebook. Yeah. You're given a class before you go drive a car for a reason, because you could hurt people.
Right.
Now, hurting someone on Facebook is not the same as hurting people in a car, but it's still, you have this tool, this very powerful tool that's out there that you should really think about what you're posting before you post it, because you never know where that's going to reach.
Yeah.
I've seen people lose jobs because of things they've posted on Facebook. I've seen people, hey, I'm going to apply for a job. If you apply for a job, what do you think they're doing? The first thing they're doing when they see your name is they're looking up your Facebook.
Yeah. And people, I've heard people like attack Facebook for that and say like, attack like the people hiring, like, you shouldn't be looking on their Facebook because that's their personal life. It's not, it shouldn't be relevant to whether they should be hired or not. Well, wait a second.
It's a moot point. It happens.
Yeah. If they can go on your Facebook, look you up, and see all of this stuff that would make them decide not to hire you, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
You made that shit public. Anyone can fucking look it up.
But that's personal responsibility. We'll have a whole podcast about that goddamn subject.
Yeah, that's true. But no, it goes hand in hand with it. I mean, you have to be responsible about your internet image and how you appear on the internet.
Well, so for example, there's
your responsibility.
That kid who got drafted, right? The new Bears quarterback. They picked him second overall. The Bears traded up with the 49ers to go up one spot to pick this quarterback. He's 22 or 23, right in that range.
Okay.
He's been a starter for 1 year. A lot of people doubt his ability. They're not sure if he's going to be worth the number 2 overall pick. Probably not. The fucking 5 minutes after he gets picked, his Twitter, people go through his Twitter and they see things that he tweeted back in 2011. Mm-hmm. That's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So he's 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And the first thing is I love kissing titties. That's the first thing. That's number 2
that's
pick.
Not even offensive. That's human nature.
What was really offensive is that he used 2 S's at the end of titties. But that's But what's funny is this kid he's still a kid. I mean, 22. He's still pretty young, just getting out of college, about to start his go to the NFL. And the first thing that pops up is the wild shit you said on Twitter 6 years ago. So you have to think about those kind of things.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if you're not expecting your job to look at it, imagine going on a date with a girl. If you ask a girl out and you tell her your name, what's the first fucking thing she's going to do?
Yep.
She's going to look up your Facebook, she's going to Google your ass, and she's going to see what kind of crazy shit history you have.
Uh-huh.
So why would you expect a company not to do that when they're going to be paying you money for you to be around?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm out of breath.
Yeah, we're at 31 minutes.
Oh, shocking. Mm-hmm. But yeah, how about we do this? Let's take a few minutes to talk about the things that piss us off that aren't so serious. I have a few for me that rile me up that, aren't, I admit, aren't super serious. They're not harassment things. I fucking hate Boomerang. I fucking hate Boomerang.
So we've talked about this. I don't care for it. I don't use it. I see it every day from all my friends, but I don't understand why you're so upset.
I don't
about it.
know. Okay, so this is the thing. I pictures are one thing, right? Pictures of food, while some people fucking hate them, doesn't bother me at all. I think it's cool to see food. But I'm a fatty, so I love seeing pictures of food. I'm like, oh, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's like free advertisement for actually good food. Like, you don't see somebody post a picture of a fucking Whopper with cheese. You usually see post a picture of a delicious burger or a burrito they had, and you're like, oh, where do I get that?
Yeah.
Then you have GIFs or cinemagraphs if you're into that kind of thing. But a Boomerang is a shitty GIF.
Something in the weird fucked up Venn diagram between those two.
Exactly. It's not even so, you know, like iPhone has that live picture thing where like
What is that?
so if you're an iPhone user,
Yeah.
anytime after 6, I believe, or 6 plus, maybe it was 6 plus or 6S.
Okay.
If I take a picture, it automatically snaps it as a like 2-second video. So I can hold the picture down and you can see the action of the picture taking place.
Oh, okay.
It's cool.
Sure.
You know, it's got its uses, but most of the time it's just kind of kitschy. But if you're like taking a cheese, like sometimes I'll see one of me and my wife and I'll hold it down to watch us go, ugh. Like the face you make after the picture's taken. I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck.
That's funny.
Even that is somewhat understandable. But Boomerang takes you half a second forward and then half a second backward. No fucking action actually takes place. So you're lifting your arm up and back down and then arm up and then back down. What the fuck point are you making?
Okay, so your anger comes from it, like, there's no point to it.
It's fucking
Like,
worthless.
it just doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it's fucking infuriating.
Okay,
I don't know
yeah.
why. I don't know
That's-
why it bothers me so much.
I get that. It's true.
When I see a picture, your picture is supposed to send me forward, not fucking here it is back, here it is back, here it is.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Now, again, this is purely unreasonable anger. I don't expect anybody to agree with me. I actually half expect to get 30 or 40 Boomerang pictures sent my way this week.
Here, this is how I'll like match your anger, kind of. I'll get close to it. It does fucking bug me when someone does it and it's not interesting. Like there's no, like,
they're not doing it to make it a cool thing.
Right. The motion that they chose to go back and forth is just stupid. Like it's not cool. Like if it was like, so let's take the prime example. Like someone jumped into a pool and you can see them jump in, the water splashes, and then it goes back and then they come out.
It's never
like,
that.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's never that.
Look
It's
at my
like
straw
someone
into
putting
my drink. Look at my straw out of
Yeah,
my
I was
drink.
just
Look at my
gonna
straw
say-
into my drink. Motherfucker.
I was just gonna say it's someone lifting their drink up and then it goes back down. It's like, ooh, wow, that's amazing. Like,
I would much. And the thing is old man as I feel.
Yeah, you're looking at your phone. Let's pull up Instagram, and I'm gonna see the first Boomerang I see. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
You probably have a lot more. You have a lot
And
more friends than I
Instagram
do.
stories is a whole other fucking
Well, the Instagram stories, isn't that kind of a thing, a takeoff of what Snapchat was doing?
yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's why I hate it, because it's unnecessary.
Well, the thing is, I'm fully aware that Snapchat's completely unnecessary. I will admit from time to time some of the filters are fun, and I have a lot of fun with it with my daughter.
No, I'm not saying Snapchat is unnecessary. I'm saying
it's completely unfucking necessary.
no, it's unnecessary. But I mean, I find uses for it.
And we can just do this really quickly, and then we can pause. And
Okay.
come back to
Yep.
it, so we're not.
Look at this.
Yeah.
It's a couple of drinks in front of a fire, and the flames go back and forth. Wow.
Yes. The thing is,
That's
it's
amazing.
not even. It's if it was in cinematograph form where the flame kept flickering.
Yeah, that'd be
Rad.
awesome.
But it's not. It goes up and
has
comes
that
back,
thing-
and it's clearly off. It's like a shitty fucking GIF loop.
Samsung had a thing where you could like shoot a video and then choose which parts moved, and only some parts move, and it looks like a cinematograph. That's cool. But
And that
like,
makes perfect sense.
yeah, but yeah, this is funny how angry you are.
Well, the thing is, we warmed everybody up with the first 4 episodes. Like they're kind of angry, and they're like, no, Eric's fucking unreasonably angry
Yeah.
about fucking Facebook
Yeah,
today.
we're just getting started.
So, what about you though? Is there anything social media wise that gets your tits up when you're not like just for no reason at all? Gets on your tits.
Okay. I've gone on Tinder a few times. I've never been successful with it, and I don't, for whatever reason. But
Dude, you're too much of a fucking romantic for Tinder. It's just true. It's just fucking
that's
true.
probably it.
It's true, dude.
That's probably it. Like, I don't want to beat my next girlfriend by swiping her left and her swiping
See
me
exactly
left.
what you just said, though? I don't want to be
And-
my next girlfriend.
Yeah,
You said
that's
girlfriend,
true.
not
That's
like-
true.
not-
Why am I even on Tinder? but I hate the idea that like my generation is now just casually okay with that sort of thing. Like it's so it's like when you think about it fundamentally, it's awful. It's treating people like literally like objects. It's like actually objectifying.
It's a meat market. It's
Yeah.
literally a meat market. It's
Yeah.
You're basically, it's hot or not, compressed into, do I want to fuck you? That's all it is.
Yeah. And I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it works for that. I mean, I guess it, like, if you just take it at face value for like casual sex, then it makes sense. But like, what?
I'm just showing you a boomerang. I know we're in the middle of another
Yeah, it's
topic,
people
but
dancing.
there's nothing.
Yeah. You get to see that dance move go back and forth
Woo!
for 5 minutes.
It basically just makes you look like a white guy dancing. It's that same move, that shoulder bite and the lip bite and the shoulder.
Two-step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking look cool right now.
No, I don't know if Tinder makes me angry. It's just sometimes it just makes me
You're
sad.
you're an old romantic
sad.
in the generation of 23-year-olds that they don't get that part. And I was there. I was when I was younger. It was that torn between just trying to meet people and da-da-da. And then I just never wanted to waste my time. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just waste my time and money
Yeah.
on someone.
Yeah.
For what? For it's like Tinder.
Yeah.
Now, maybe somebody met their wife on there. I have not met anybody who's met their spouse on Tinder. Everybody I know that has met online has been OkCupid. That's the one.
Well, what's funny is that even the people who like start a relationship, it doesn't seem like a functioning relationship.
I don't know.
Like it doesn't, and it usually doesn't end well.
And
so
if
it's
you
not
did,
like-
if you've met your lover on Tinder, please
email us.
email us unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com.
Please
We'd
prove us
love
wrong.
to hear about
We
it.
are probably wrong, so go ahead and prove us wrong. So, all these things: Facebook, Tinder, Boomerang, Instagram, Snapchat.
The tweeter.
They're a part of our life. Like
Yeah.
we can't change that. I'm not going to stop using them.
Oh yeah. And
Uh,
if you're a friend of mine and you've known me for more than 3 or 4 years, you've heard me yell about Facebook before, and you know damn well I'm still using it. And
yeah.
you can call me a fucking hypocrite, but the point of this podcast isn't to make good points. I mean, sometimes the point is to talk about things that drive us fucking mad. And the thing is, I think most of the things that drive us mad in our life aren't the things that are just out there. They're the things that bug us about ourselves sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's, man, I really wish I could stop eating hamburgers so I didn't run out of breath after running for 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, if you don't hate yourself as much as you hate the world, how are you going to become a better person?
Exactly. Little by little, just hate yourself, hate Facebook, throw it together, boom, better. But no, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of good things. I mean, it's definitely helped me keep in touch with people over the years. I mean, it's made that fucking asshole a shit ton of money. I mean, it led to jobs for friends of ours, and it led to a fucking movie that you just recently watched again.
So yeah, The Social Network. I put it up in my top 5 Fincher movies.
No.
I know. Okay, so we've talked about this a billion times. You hate it because
Hold up really quickly. Eric and Gary's retro review. That's kind of like what this is. Like, this is like a retro review. This shit's like 7 years old now.
retro review.
Retro review. I sound like Aziz Ansari right there. No, okay, so
Randy.
it's not that I fucking hate the movie, okay? It's
Okay,
not
you
that I
don't
hate
fucking
it.
hate it. Yeah.
No, I don't fucking hate it.
Okay.
I don't like the dialogue. It's
Aaron
fucking
Sorkin's-
Aaron Sorkin. There are a few movies that he's done that I'm okay with, and there are some movies that
Smarty pants dialogue.
it's fucking quippy, fucking
Quippy.
smarmy, like, we're all fucking smarter than you. We talk like this all the time. Blah, 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 blah."
Intentionally quotable.
Yeah,
Like
no, fuck you.
it's made for trailers.
Yeah,
That's
no.
what it is.
No
It's
way.
made-
These goddamn dummies sitting in their fucking dorm room. We're all they're staring there jerking off at fucking girls' pictures on the fucking website, and they're just of course all speaking in,
Well, okay.
rat-a-tat conversations. Fuck that.
Okay. So I can't say that I enjoy. I mean, what other movies are written by Aaron Sorkin?
I'll fucking IMDb that shit right now.
Okay,
Pause
go
this
ahead.
bitch.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm looking it up here. So Aaron Sorkin, we're gonna go with writing because that's really what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
A Few Good Men, really well written movie. Very,
As-
you can't handle the truth.
That's one of my movies that I still have to see.
Jesus
I
Christ.
know.
That's a whole nother segment we are gonna do.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that segment before you write
There's
it
a
in.
list of-
We have a list going.
Yeah.
Malice, The American President, Sports Night, The West Wing, which I know lots of people love. I'm not a political guy, so I couldn't get into it.
Okay.
Studio 60, Charlie Wilson's War, which was not impressive in my opinion. Social Network, Moneyball, Newsroom, which is a great show. I haven't watched a lot of it, but it's a good show. And then Steve Jobs.
So here's where we are. Aaron Sorkin writes dialogue for really smart people. I mean, debatably, whatever.
People.
smart in quotes people.
I'm smart.
Yeah. So the president and his cabinet and Bill Gates. Fuck.
Bill Gates.
What's it? Steve Jobs.
Bill's like, what did I do? Fuck you, Gary.
No, Bill's actually smart. He doesn't just talk smart. No. Yeah. So the president and his cabinet, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and these Harvard people, and so I don't mind it for that reason. If he were writing a script for a Ben Affleck movie that takes place in
Southeast
Boston, then it's okay, that doesn't make sense that guy's talking like that. But so the reason I don't mind it is because of that context where you have this smarty pants asshole in Harvard is trying to already prove that he's smart.
Yeah.
And so you have the dialogue for him there, and it's this is kind of stupid. It's really, the way I picture it is like a play rather than a movie. It's what you would hear in a play by a playwright.
Well, see, that's the thing is you give it a lot more credit than I give it. I look at it and I'm like, fuck,
He's just trying to sound smart.
It was literally the beginning of the movie. It's.
I love that scene though.
I'm telling you,
that's one of my favorite scenes in all of movies.
And I'm telling for really quickly, let me back up. Everybody pitched the hell out of the movie to me. All I heard was just amazing things. I didn't see it until it was on Blu-ray. That's when I watched it.
Okay.
So by that point, I had almost a year of just nonstop, circle jerk about how great the movie was.
Sure.
I put it on. It's me and my wife. And by the end of the first scene with him and Rooney Mara, who we both love, I went, nobody fucking talks like that.
Yeah.
This is fucking horse shit. It's just, and I was like, I don't know. And as we're watching the movie, I already didn't like Zuckerberg to begin with. I just didn't like his air. There was just something about the guy. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
By the end of that movie, I hated everybody. I fucking hated everybody.
I mean, you're kind of supposed to.
Well, and that's great. But I'm like, what did I get out of this? What did I get? What was the thing about that movie that was supposed to be blown away by? Now, really quickly, the direction was amazing. Fincher is one of my all-time favorites.
And
he didn't disappoint.
Please give it to the music.
Of course the music was good. But the point is it was so self-important is how it felt. It made it seem... And I didn't care. And my feelings about Facebook should lend itself to why I feel that way.
So this is a whole other discussion, but we're going to talk about this in another episode. But the way that you appreciate art is different from person to person, vastly different. And the type of art that you seek and the artists that you look for, and I'm talking about like anything, movies, whatever,
absolutely,
is going to be dependent on your type of personality and what you look
life
for.
Experiences, all that stuff. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So I can totally understand that someone, i.e. you, would not would not go after a movie like this and not watch it again, because really it's not like you don't it's not like a reflection of everyday life.
No, yeah.
It's not like, it's not what a movie usually is. Really what it is just like throwing like this dialogue at you, throwing the music at you, throwing the direction at you. And it's all, I totally acknowledge, and I think that's what they were going for, is that it's all way more self-important.
Yeah, exactly.
Than
Of course.
it should be.
Yeah, so in that way, they
And,
fully achieved their
like,
goal.
Like you have David Fincher direct like this really dark,
Yeah.
gloomy direction for a fucking, like, they're making a website. Like, I totally get.
No, and that's
like,
the funny thing is when we heard there was going to be a Facebook movie, it's like when people
Directed
talk
by
about there's going to be a
Dave-
Battleship movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's stupid. Yeah, but David fucking Fincher directed it.
Uh-huh.
But no, you're right. I mean, I understand.
But that's why I love it though.
Yeah.
It's because it's it's way more than it should be.
Yeah.
But I just eat it up like
And I get it.
popcorn.
I've never tried to like. I try to see where people see in it. I see some of the benefits, some of the pluses. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
And realistically, it wasn't you saying you liked it that made my tits perk up. What the fuck? It's in my top few for Fincher. And I'm like, really?
Yep.
Fucking really?
Well, yeah.
It's that part to me. Like and this is something that I think we'll carry going forward. We'll do we'll do this. We'll go week over week and we'll watch some Fincher movies and we'll grade them against each other. I think it's a great idea.
Because they're all so good.
They're all
I mean,
fucking great.
It's like I said.
Wait,
it's
wasn't Benjamin Button his?
yes.
Come on, I'm not it wasn't terrible, but it's not like that one's gonna get me to see like
That's true. There are a few.
That's not a
that are
fight.
just-
That's not Fight Club.
But-
you know what I mean,
but we were talking about it, and I was saying it's like practically impossible to like, rank them. Like it's
yeah.
but yeah. And we usually agree about movies. Like
Yeah, for the
we're
most
usually
part,
on the same
yeah.
page. But every once in a while, you get something like this where it's like we're totally.
Well, and the thing is,
have
Fincher
different
for
views on
me is how you view Nolan. Like Fincher has been one of my like directing heroes for a very long time.
Yeah.
So for me, when somebody goes, "Hey," it's like they're in my neighborhood and they're like, "Hey, man, like this one was better than that one." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
You're gonna say that Dark Knight Rises is the best Nolan
Yeah,
movie?
right?
Seriously.
It's like you motherfucker. But no,
But before we move on, I just gotta say that soundtrack for Social Network is written by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails is my favorite band. Please check that soundtrack on Spotify. It's the best music to like study for or like go on a run with.
and
just
I
wanna
won't disagree.
plug
The
that.
thing that's funny though is I actually preferred the Gone Girl soundtrack. Like I liked that one better. That score. It's not that I
Probably
think
because it's less like Nine Inch Nails.
it's possible. It's not that I don't like any Nine Inch Nails. It's just that there was
It's-
something
yeah.
about the mood and how the music changed in different parts of Gone Girl
Oh,
that
yeah.
really like
We'll
I've
talk.
literally-
We'll talk about Gone
yeah,
Girl.
I've
'cause-
listened to it at work where I'm just
Yeah.
like fucking put that on.
because that was after That was after Social Network, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That was, I think, that must have been their third collaboration. And at that point, it's like when you have Von Zimmer working with Nolan.
Yeah.
And like they've been to the rodeo before, they know what they're doing, and their visions
Yeah.
like meet in the middle. It's great. Anyway, we'll talk about that more. We're gonna talk about we got our first email.
We sure did. And as we end every episode, it's my episode. As we end every episode, we always invite you to email questions, comments, ideas for topics, things like that. Just things you want us to vent our anger about, or if you have something you want to vent about and you'd like to hear us chat about it, you're welcome to do so at unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com. And we got our first one, so we're going to read it today. It's good afternoon, Gary and Eric. Liking your new podcast, you fuckwits. Keep it up. I have a suggestion for a segment to talk about on your podcast. Parents who give their kids shitty pun names or names born of internet memeing. I heard recently of someone giving their new baby the middle name of Chimichanga, and it makes me want to shit on their doorstep in protest. Thanks, guys. Jeff. Well, thank you for the email.
My suggestion is when you shit on their doorstep, it should be a chimichanga
You
that
should
you're shitting.
eat a chimichanga and shit it on their doorstep.
Yes.
as a dad, and I'm gonna be that guy. As a dad, as a new parent,
Put your daddy hat on.
I
That sounds awful.
I put my daddy hat on. I will say, even before I became a dad, I understand people get all weird about having an opinion about other people's kids' names. Okay, if you go through the generations of names, there are some names that stick out, and you're like, God, fuck, really? You gave that Enid? That's a rough name. If you're like the girl on
The
Walking Dead,
yeah.
she's 16. Her name's Enid. She's fucked. Like you're screwed.
Yeah, pop culture names too. He didn't
Yeah,
mention that, but pop
Khaleesi?
culture names. Yeah,
Name your
Khaleesi
goddamn
or
kid Khaleesi?
Katniss.
I would even be okay with Daenerys. If you want to name your kid Daenerys, Khaleesi's the fucking title. It's like naming your kid
Yeah.
Queen. And you can name your kid fucking Queen, but it's a shitty fucking fucked up name. That being said,
but yeah, internet memes and food. Like what?
and you know
what
who
is that?
who's infamously started this in my brain was Gwyneth Paltrow. Didn't they name one of their kids fucking Apple?
Apple.
Apple's bad enough.
What is that? What even is that?
I don't know. The apple
You're
of
just
my
like
eye.
you're just having breakfast. You're like, hey, what should we? Apple. I don't
Banana
know.
bread.
Like
You named your fucking kid Chimichanga.
sounds like laziness.
I don't give a good goddamn what your fucking reasoning is. It's not about you. When you name your kid at the time, you're thinking, what's a great name that I like, that means something to me? I'm not saying you have to name your kid something safe. If you want to name your kid something wild, go for it. You have every right to do it. And I have every right to sit here and tell you you're a goddamn idiot. If you name your kid Chimichanga or
Yeah.
Taco or Taquito, Taco's kind of awesome because of the league. But anyway, that's a nickname. Taquito, burrito, pizza, mozzarella. I don't give a fuck what the word is. That kid is going to grow up fucking hating you for it.
Yes.
They're going to hate you for it.
You have to keep in mind that it's not just your name that you're giving.
Yeah.
Like it's their name. They're going to have it for the rest of their life.
And not just when they're a kid, when they're a goddamn adult.
Yes.
And somebody looks up their fucking name on their fucking ID card, it's going to say Steve Chimichanga Smith.
And
really?
and let's even scale it back to like something more reasonable, like naming someone a nickname.
Yeah.
Rather than the actual full name.
Sure.
Like why don't like name someone like Timmy if they're like after 18 years they're gonna want to be taken seriously and like they're gonna go, my name's fucking Timmy and I want my service now. It's like, Timmy, really? Like,
Yeah, it's like, how intimidated should I be right now? I'm sorry, Timmy.
it's like that.
Put the gun down, Timmy.
The Johnny Cash song. What's the Johnny Cash song?
Boy named Sue.
Yes.
Now, as a big Johnny Cash fan, as you listen to the song, the dad explains why he named him Sue. And at the end of the song,
Oh, that's right.
he does. He goes, I know I was
forgot
going to be
that.
there for you, so I knew if I give you a name like this, you get the shit kicked out of your whole life and you'd be tough.
Yeah.
But at the very end, he goes, after he said that to me, all I thought was if I ever have a son, I'm going to name him Bill or John or any but damn name but Sue. It's a fucking terrible name.
Yes.
But I'm all for being creative and I'm all for being fun. I've seen people name their kid like Thor and things like that. And even Thor, as wild as that is, isn't outside the realm of realism because that in some cultures, some countries, that's a real fucking name.
That's true. That's
But
not
if you
just
go to
a comic book
Mexico,
character. Yeah.
nobody's real name is fucking Chimichanga.
No.
You're not
They
gonna,
don't have chimichangas in Mexico. They're not a thing. They're American. They started in like New Mexico or Texas or whatever the fuck.
And the thing is I get it. If you really like, if you just love chimichangas, like you and your wife lay in bed together and you eat chimichangas.
I don't know.
off
Yeah,
each
those
other.
Disneyland ones.
Hey.
Holy fuck.
Hey, maybe. You think your chimichangas are churros?
No, the chimichangas at Disneyland are fucking delicious.
don't-
They come with that hot sauce. and-
Oh god.
yeah. It's
Well,
so
anyway.
good. Anyway.
Yeah, I totally forgot. We had those out front of in front of the castle.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
magical. Yeah.
Yeah.
But unless you're that guy, right? And even if you're that guy, you are saying to your child, "Look, you're going to take one for the team. I'm going to tell my friends I named you Chimichanga to get a chuckle out of them.
I'm gonna post that on Facebook.
I'm going to post.
I'm gonna post you on Boomerang.
Imagine being the doctor that's filling out the goddamn birth certificate, and it's like, "What's your son's name?" Well, his first name is Joe. I'm like, "Okay, Joe."
Well, the doctor Snapchatted it to his
Oh,
coworkers.
there you go. Yeah, look at this fucking moron. Named his kid fucking Chimichanga. That kid's get the shit kicked out of him. Well, not anymore because you can't.
You know, it would be great though if he grew
You
up.
can't tease him for it. That's bullying.
No. You know, it'd be great if he grew up and he was like that fat, pudgy, like 13-year-old in middle school who like everyone, like the kid in Goonies, like
No,
and their nickname for him is Chimichanga, but that's his actual name.
Yeah, no, or you go somewhere and somebody hears them call you chimichanga and they think you're making a racial joke about them for being Hispanic and they kick the shit out of you and you're like, no, my fucking name is chimichanga.
Oh gosh. Thanks for the email.
Exactly what we were looking for, and hopefully we covered your frustration for you, Jeff. Keep them coming.
Yep.
And that's about does it for episode 5 of the Unreasonably Angry podcast. My name is Eric.
And I'm Gary.
Make sure to hit us up on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. After all of that, please like us on Facebook.
Like it, share it, post it.
Put us on
also-
Boomerang.
Boomerang. You can also hit us up on SoundCloud, or you can send in emails for ideas for topics of the show, things you'd like to hear us talk about, comments, concerns. You can tell us to fuck ourselves, whatever you'd like, at unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com.
And we'll see you next week.
And until next time, stay angry, fuckers.
It's all staying in, all of it.
Good.
I'm not cutting anything.